Welcome my good smelling friends. Today I have a couple of fresh fragrances to show you. Very safe, easy to wear. These fragrances are not going to bother anyone, not you while wearing them in bed, in the house, or just in the summer. But you have to keep in mind that these fragrances, because they are going to be safe, they are not going to be unique. So a lot of people might smell the same way. They are not going to last that long or project that well, again because they are very safe, so they are created in a way that they don't bother anyone, so they're not going to be too strong. And that's about it. Let's begin. So the first one I want to show you, I'm not going to have a specific order. I'm just going to grab the bottles, tell you a few things about them, and then move on to the next bottle. But now that I do have two honorable mentions. Honorable because some of you guys might enjoy wearing them in the summer, might consider them as fresh fragrances, but to me, I think they have something that make them not so easy to wear during high heat. And the first one is Mugler Cologne. You all know this one. It's just a soapy green fragrance. I think that soapy effect, it comes off too balsamic to my nose, too thick, and somehow I think it's too much to be worn during the high heat of summer. The next one is Pompelmo by this brand called Monotheme Venetia. This one is as it looks. It's an orangey, zesty, citrusy fragrance. Opens up smelling very natural. That's the thing with monotheme fragrances. It smells pretty natural. It's pretty simplistic. With this one, the opening, it's great. Again, it's citrusy, it's zesty. It's a bit sour, like a natural peeling of citrus, like a citrus fruit, like an orange. But then it dries down sweeter and it smells almost like an orange candy, sweet orange candy. I think the sweetness and that candy-like feel, it's a bit too much to be worn during the summer. And if you haven't smelled any other safe fragrances, I think those two are still safe, but again, there are many other much safer choices. And the first one I would go with is this one, Mont Blanc Star Walker. Super safe, probably one of the safest from this house. This has like a rainforest freshness because it has a bamboo note. It gives it this green, fresh aspect to it. Dries down slightly powdery, very close to the skin, slightly sweet, super safe in the style of Mont Blanc fragrances. Cheap also. Performance not that great, but again, this is not a list of strong fragrances, this is a list of safe fragrances. And Star Walker from Mont Blanc, it's one of their safest fragrances. Cheap also. The next one, I'm gonna show you two fragrances because they smell similar. One is Castile by Penhaligon's, and the other one is Cologne Grand Luxe by Fragonard. Both niche fragrances. Both have the Neroli Portofino DNA, only that the Penhaligon's one, it's much smoother. It doesn't have the sharpness. A bit more modern, a bit more rounded up. Still has that classic Neroli DNA, that classic. This one, right now, in this age, this could be considered a classic DNA. It has that. It's a bit more mature, but it's very safe, super safe. It's one of those scents which you wear whenever you want. Cologne Grand Luxe, almost the same smell. It's just a bit more modernized. It's sweeter, but still keeping that classic neroli DNA. Not offending, it has that cologne feel. The next one is Black Fleece by Brooks Brothers. I've shown you this one recently. This smells like green tea with some citruses and some flowers, some white flowers, and that's mainly it. It creates this pleasant mood when smelling it. It's basically, if you like, the smell of green tea with some lemon maybe squeezed in the tea. That's mainly it. It has this brightness, that's this white flower brightness added to the composition. Very good, but keep in mind this one, it's now rare to find because it has been discontinued. So Black Fleece by Brooks Brothers, super safe, but now discontinued. Another very safe scent, one of the safest in the game, is Lalique White. This one, if you haven't smelled it yet, it's a super creamy, lemony type of scent. It's just creamy and lemony, smooth, maybe some sandalwood in here, but very safe. It sticks close to the skin, but during the day you're getting these really pleasant and safe whiffs from this gorgeous fragrance. Lalique White, don't think it's still, throughout these years, I still don't think it got enough attention. Again, cheap and super safe, one of the safest. The next one, Gerlan OM Lo Boise. This is a vetiver based scent and has this vetiver with minty green combo. It's a bit on the mature side, but super fresh, a bit of a classic DNA. It has that mature vetiver, but the mint in here makes it more green, a bit more bright. It's just, I think it's an easy entry level to mature fragrances. So if you are in that transition from modern youthful fragrances and want to try something more mature, Gerlan OM Lo Boise, I think makes it easier to make that transition. Again, not a very expensive fragrance. Actually, most in this list, maybe also because these fragrances are not that special, not that unique. Maybe that's why, again, they are a bit more inexpensive. And the next one, it's a very cheap one from the house of 24. This is Live Another Day. This is one of their few fresh fragrances. Most of them are pretty oriental, like pretty heavy. But this one didn't get enough attention because it's not that special. It's not long lasting, but it's very safe in my opinion. It has that aquatic citrusy feel to it, that blue vibe. And to give you a better and accurate comparison on how it smells, imagine this one, which is much more popular, Nautica Blue, but this one smells cheaper. This one lasts longer, this one has better quality, and the price is almost the same. So instead of this one, I would recommend Live Another Day by the house of 24. Super safe, again, spicy, blue, citrusy fragrance. The next one is a fragrance from the house of Cerruti. I think this one might also be discontinued, but I've seen some stock, could be brought back into production. Cerruti Image, gorgeous and unique bottle. I haven't seen a sprayer like this, like never, and it feels so satisfying spraying this. And the smell, it's so green, aromatic and clean. Imagine like a Dior Sauvage, greener but in a aromatic way, not in a like fresh cut grass or herbal like way. No, just aromatic green, clean, slightly soapy, and much safer. I mean, Sauvage is a DNA that is considered safe, but it's too strong sometimes to be worn during the summer. This one is softer, it stays on the skin, but it doesn't project as hard as Dior Sauvage. I'm not saying this one is a clone, by no means, but if you like Dior Sauvage, I think you will enjoy this one as well, because somehow it reminds me of that DNA. It's clean, it has that masculine feel to it, but more aromatic in a green way. Dior Sauvage also aromatic, but in a blue way. I have two more fragrances. Also, actually I have just one, because the other one is for another list, and the other list is a follow-up to this video, which will be fresh fragrances, fresh summer fragrances which smell unique. And the last one in this list of fresh safe scents is Calvin Klein CK Everyone. Pretty much like the original CK1, this is after all a flanker of that one, but this one is spicier, much spicier, which makes this fragrance somehow brighter and a bit more longer lasting in my opinion, but not in an offending way. It has that clean, soapy, dry down like the original has, but again this one is much more spicier in the opening and spicier in a bright way, and also in the dry down this one I think it's a bit more musky. But overall I think this one is overlooked in my opinion, and I need to talk more about it. And that was it. These were my list. These were safe fragrances which can be grabbed anytime, anywhere, any place without offending anyone. These are actually some of the safest fragrances I have smelled. And if you are not into fragrances that much and would like to have a fragrance, I think you would find that each of these could be a safe choice, because I know people that can't stand a lot of fragrances, even the ones that I think they're safe, they can't stand them. They find something in them that it's off-putting. But with this, I think it's a pretty safe choice. I know there are others. Leave a comment below, so in the future maybe I could try those and I could add them up to the list. Until that video and until the next time, just keep smelling great.